As the island spirals closer to its clash with the Death Star, Battle Royale is ramping up for one of its biggest events yet, and it's coming in fast. Latest update drops the first real clues about the upcoming finale, the return of a mysterious villain, and sets the stage for Fortnite's next big shift, the rise of the superhero era. So get comfy, because there's no better time to turn to your ultimate guide on Oninoshima. So how did we even get here? Daigo's diving into the spirit world trying to save his sister, and the next, Palpatine's literally aiming the Death Star at Chapter 6's island like he's about to erase us from existence. Yeah, loopers, it's been wild, and today we're breaking it all down. What's happening right now in the Star Wars season, what led us here, and what might go down when all this madness wraps up. Let's start with Daigo, who's easily been the centerpiece of Chapter 6's storyline. At first, he was the hero, rescuing his sister Jade, facing the demons. But now, he's gone full villain, completely possessed by the puppeteer deep inside the spirit realm. And here's the twist. He went there for a reason, to recover a 0-point shard, because that's what everyone's after this chapter. But in this mini-season, the game just flipped again. Palpatine shows up with the Death Star and a full-on army of Star Wars legends pulled from different timelines and universes. We still don't know if he's here for the 0-point shard, or if he just wants to wipe out the island entirely. There's a theory that the massive dark power Daigo unleashed might have caught Palpatine's attention. And now, to prevent any threat to his galactic rule, he's decided to just blow the whole place up. Classic Palps. And honestly, that uncertainty, that question of what does he really want, is what's keeping this whole mini-season lore so compelling. Week by week, we're seeing more rebels pop up, trying to defend the island from the Galactic Empire's grip. Oh, and just in case anyone's confused, yeah, none of this is canon in the actual Star Wars timeline. It's pure Fortnite multiverse madness, and we love it. Now let's talk about this version of Palpatine, because no, he's not the one from the movies. Think of him more like an alternate variant who basically controls the entire galaxy at this point. That's probably why he's also got wild versions like Samurai Darth Vader and even Darth Jar Jar under his command. Yeah, it's that kind of season. So now that we know who we're dealing with, let's zoom in on week 1 of the Star Wars season. This is where we start getting missions from both the Resistance and the Empire. And honestly, from a lore perspective, I don't think it's super deep. It feels more like a gameplay thing, to let us mess around with both sides, fly villain ships, or mess with dark side powers, just for fun. But the good stuff? That's in the voice logs from the clone troopers. First off, they don't even seem to know why they're here. They're literally questioning whether they're being left behind on this weird island. Straight up saying things like, "Are we stuck here?" Total panic mode. And you can tell these guys aren't equipped for Fortnite rules. No gliders, no clue. Just straight fear of fall damage being their final moment. But the fourth message, that one hits different. It reveals that Palpatine is specifically interested in all the scrap metal lying around the island. Even the troopers don't know why, but they're under orders to collect it and report back. By the way, all these terminals where you hear those messages, you'll find them inside Vader's Solitude. And just like the Empire, the Rebels have their own data logs you can collect. You'll need to head over to the Resistance base and recover the records from there. But fair warning, most of what you'll hear from the Rebels is pretty straightforward. They're gearing up to attack the Empire, and one guy's clearly stressing about their lack of firepower. Like, are we seriously this under-equipped? And honestly, yeah, they kind of are. There's also one last log that seems tied to a specific Star Wars character, but I'll admit, I didn't fully catch the reference. So if you're a die-hard Star Wars fan and you know what it means, drop it in the comments. I'm all ears. Now, about that firepower problem, good news is you can help out. Poe Dameron is offering flight lessons, and once you complete his mission, you're basically part of his squad. I say basically, because right after that, you can still help the dark side. Like I said before, I doubt this has much impact on the official lore. It's more of a fun gameplay loop. If it was canon, we'd basically be the villains for double-crossing everybody. That brings us to Episode 2, The Pull of the Force. While Palpatine stays hidden up in the Death Star, more portals are opening up across the island, this time bringing Mace Windu and Darth Maul. And alongside them, Luke, Leia, and Han Solo show up, ready to train us. You can start by talking to Luke. He's ready to train you just like Yoda trained him. He'll send you on a glider course through 10 rings, and if you pull it off, you get a mythic blaster pistol as a reward. Bonus: this mission is repeatable, so you can farm that pistol every match if you want. Next up, we've got Han Solo. Just like in the movies, you'll find him hanging out at the cantina, and your job is to recruit him to help fight the Empire. But Han's not just handing out favors, you've got to prove yourself. First, beat his score for damage dealt to structures. Once you do that, it unlocks Phase 2, where you'll need to eliminate 5 clone troopers. After that, head back, and Han will reward you with the same mythic blaster pistol Luke gives out. And just like Luke's quest, Han's is repeatable. The second time around, all you have to do is damage structures again, and boom, you get the blaster. And hey, yeah, I know I third-partied that guy. No regrets. Now moving on to Leia. Her quest line's a little deeper. You can ask her about a few different topics, but one of her responses really stands out. If you ask about the Empire's plan, she says something like, "Some secrets are better left hidden for now," which to me pretty much confirms that we will get answers later in the season about what Palpatine's really up to. In Leia's mission, she asks you to investigate a hidden Imperial supply depot somewhere on the island. To get inside, you'll have to connect some power cables on and blow open the cave entrance. Once inside, you'll find a terminal that doesn't give you much text, but your character learns the Empire's secret objective. After that, you return to Leia, and she says it's time to strike. So yeah, big moves are coming. And with the May 15th update, Chewbacca is finally here, bringing some new gear with him to train us in crossbow combat. But the real story heat is coming with Episode 3, dropping May 22nd. That's when we hit new loot and finally unlock a customizable Mandalorian skin. You already know I'll be breaking it all down when that hits. But here's where things get really interesting. This new Mandalorian skin? It's not just another outfit for your locker. According to the leaks, we're getting 4 new Mandalorian characters on the map, all recruitable NPCs. And yeah, that's probably gonna tie directly into the next phase of the story. Now, whether they'll help us or not remains to be seen, but it looks like the Rebels are about to launch their full-scale counterattack against the Empire. Why? Because on May 29th, Episode 4 drops. Epic already confirmed that in this update, one player in every match will be able to pilot a Star Destroyer. Yep. And lore-wise, that means Palpatine finally gives the order to start blasting the island into pieces. But this part of the season will be short, barely a week. Because on June 7th, we're heading straight into the live finale. Episode 5, Death Star Sabotage. This is the end of the Star Wars mini-season, and the beginning of something way bigger. Now, before we dive into the superhero stuff, let's talk timelines. Fortnite's been splitting its storyline lately, running the show. Whether it's the Outlaw version we saw recently, or something brand new, he's recruiting a team of young superpowered recruits. Why? Probably not out of the goodness of his heart. This is Midas we're talking about. The theory right now is that Midas wants to control zero-point energy, and he knows he can't take on that kind of power alone. Some say he's building a team to take revenge on the Storm King, but more likely, he's getting ready for a showdown with Dago, who, as we know, is fully corrupted and gathering demon forces. And here's the juicy part. It's possible that Midas is already forming that team right now, during the Star Wars season. The theory lines up with the timeline. Dago already turned into a demon by the end of the Lawless season, so if he's already back on the island, Midas is probably moving fast to balance things out. So by the time Season 3 hits, we could already have our super-powered recruits as Battle Pass skins, with full super... The dealers? Yeah, they're off trying new hustles. Some even went legit. There's now a whole chain of diners on the snowy peak of Oninoshima. And the best part? Scattered around are wrecked AT-ATs that were taken down right after landing on the island. It's honestly a vibe. But wait, they actually hid a cool secret here. If you climb up on one of those AT-ATs and connect the wires, it fires a cannon shot that blasts open a hidden cave full of loot. I swear, Epic really nailed it with this one. But hey, if that's not enough for you, there's another secret stash near a little waterfall by the canyon crossing. This one's easier to open, and honestly, even better loot. Definitely worth checking out. Oh, and in some spots they added split-open tauntauns. Total nod to Empire Strikes Back, when Luke Skywalker had to crawl inside a tauntaun to survive the cold. Here, same deal. Hop inside for a quick white heal. All over the map, you'll also spot Imperial outposts, perfect for grabbing loot. Just move fast before backup shows up. And yeah, can't forget the local heroes. Our frog fams officially riding into battle in their X-Wing. Yup, you heard that right. They're rolling with the Resistance now. And from the looks of it, Poe Dameron himself handed them the keys to the ship. Meanwhile, the portal in the Magic Mosses? Completely destroyed. Daigo's ritual is done. The gates literally blew up. And the Mask Maker vanished into another dimension. The gold rush never happened, but honestly, feels like the calm before the storm. The darkness is coming back. That's a fact. So yeah, better stay ready. That's all the map changes I've spotted so far. But hey, if I missed something, drop it in the comments. Alright, now let's talk about the real fun part. Gameplay. And I gotta say, Epic really went wild this time. They totally outdid every past Star Wars collab. Why? There's literally no normal weapons on the island anymore. Yep, it's all blasters of every shape and size, and of course lightsabers. And honestly, I kinda love it. This move completely fixed the whole running out of ammo problem. Because now, ammo doesn't exist. Every Galactic blaster has infinite shots, but they'll overheat if you spam them too hard. Right now, we've got 7 types of blasters in the game. 2 shotguns, 2 pistols, 2 rifles, and 1 SMG. Not gonna lie, it's kinda hard to tell them apart at first. Sure, we'll all figure it out by the end of the season, but for now, yeah, it's a bit of a struggle. But don't worry, they'll bring back regular weapons later this season. But I'm betting we're rocking this Galactic loadout all the way to the finale. And yeah, besides the regular ones, there are mythic blasters too. Wanna get one? Head over to the First Order base and take down Captain Phasma. Beat her, and you'll score not just the mythic gun, but also a special medallion that reduces overheating when you fire. Oh, and there's a thermal imploder you can find on the island. Doesn't really do much damage to players, but it's a beast at destroying builds in a huge radius. Honestly, a must-have for Battle Royale. They also brought back some OG loot. The Wolf Claws for infinite sprint, impulse grenades, and bush bombs. And of course, we gotta talk about the lightsabers. These aren't easy to get. You gotta find a portal on the map, walk up to it, talk to the hologram, and literally train with the Force in a galaxy far, far away. So far there's 3 powers: Jedi Push, Palpatine Lightning, and Lightsaber Throw. And here's the thing, to get this one, you actually gotta defeat Darth Vader. And honestly, kinda one of the most useless abilities in the game. No aim assist, flight speed's mid, range is so-so, straight up L. But don't worry, new mentors are landing on the island soon. Mace Windu with Force Pull and Darth Maul with Force Throw are dropping in. And yep, you are able to get their abilities through the portals too. Also, Epic's bringing back that mechanic where you pick a side. Last time we had this was way back in Chapter 2, Season 2, when it was Ghost versus Shadow. This time, it's Jedi versus Sith. You'll need to complete special quests popping up throughout the season. And depending on what side you choose, the quests will be different. I'm guessing this ain't just for show. Your choice might actually impact the game. Maybe it'll change the POIs, the battle bus design, or something else wild. Personally, I'm Team Sith. What about you? Drop your side in the comments. Let's see who's winning. Oh, and speaking of new stuff, let's talk about vehicles. If you're tired of rolling around on wheels, the Empire and the Resistance brought in 2 fresh starfighters, the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing. These ships are kinda rare. You'll only find them in a couple locations, and they've each got 3 lives. Get shot down? No problem, they respawn after repairs, and you're back in the fight. The blasters on them? Super strong up close. But hitting anything? Yeah, that's a whole different skill issue. Plus, anyone riding on these ships? Literal sitting ducks. The ships move slow, and when you boost, the screen shakes so much it feels like an earthquake inside Fortnite. Honestly, feels like the old Stormwing planes, just reskinned. And yeah, even those felt smoother. Not really vibing with it. Naturally, all eyes are on the final event with Palpatine. So, honestly, this whole season kind of feels like a filler arc. The big stuff's clearly happening after June 7th. And as far as I can tell, no one on the island even knows what happened to Daigo in the spirit realm. So that hidden threat? The darkness corrupted Daigo. Who knows what else? is probably cooking up for next season. And I'm betting the final event with the Death Star blowing up is gonna involve those sus characters too. At first glance, you might think this season's launch is kinda underwhelming. And you'd be right. But here's the thing. Epic strip feeding the content all month long. They literally gave us a roadmap before the season started, so trust. By the end, there's gonna be tons of content. The craziest part? Toward the final weeks, we're actually gonna win. I had a blast flying starfighters, blasting blasters, and chasing squads with a lightsaber.